Well, everything I wanted to say about Mitch Haniger definitely seemed to get through and land on the actual playback. But as far as my points on Yusei Kikuchi, it seemed as though I got cut off there a little bit. So I wanted to come back with a bonus clip today where I actually finish up my point on Yusei Kikuchi. So, as I was saying, obviously he's been terrible in MLB despite being really good overseas. And so now that he's in his, you would say, contract year, there is a 4 year, $66 million extension this upcoming offseason that the Seattle Mariners are faced with determining whether or not they want to accept this 4 year, $66 million option. It's worth $16.5 million a year, the same salary that he's currently making because he makes $15 million in base salary this year. Given he's also making $1.5 million in signing bonus, that's how you get his adjusted salary of $16.5 million, which is good for more than 20% of the payroll of the Seattle Mariners. So obviously the Seattle Mariners are going to be declining this option. It's terrible. Why would you pay this guy $16.5 million? He's not worth that with the career ERA over 5 in Major League Baseball. It's just not going to happen unless they see something in him still, despite what's happened to him since debuting in America. There's no way, based on his performance, that they're going to exercise this option. Now, if the option is declined, their 2022 becomes a $13 million player option, and Yusei Kikuchi has until the 5th day after the World Series to exercise that option. He does not need that long to determine whether or not he's going to accept that option. If Yusei Kikuchi hit the free market, I can guarantee you that he would be making well under $13 million a season. So that is why he is going to definitely accept that player option. And so for yet another year, this has been a terrible contract for the Seattle Mariners. And on top of that, Yusei Kikuchi has the ability to come back and nip him in the bud one more time for $13 million next year. So I actually misspoke when I said that Mitch Haniger was going to be the highest paid player on the Seattle Mariners next year. Kyle Seager will more than likely be gone because his salary is just clearly abnormal compared to all the other salaries, unless you're talking about Yusei Kikuchi, because Mitch Haniger will be the second highest paid player, making roughly $3 million next year. But Yusei Kikuchi will be making $10 million more than that in annual salary. He'll be making $13 million next year because he accepted this player option. This is the friendliest contract I've ever seen. They spent $10 million. The Seattle Mariners spent $10 million just for the right to sign Yusei Kikuchi. That's the most hilarious part. Is it was $10 million just to talk to this guy, to grant the rights, to get the rights to talk to him. Then they sign him to this deal, and then he's going to sting him one more time for $13 million. And then honestly, he'll probably just go back overseas. I don't envision him like staying and like signing with another team. That's just not normally how these guys operate. So yeah, Yusei Kikuchi, terrible contract, terrible player, really funny. It Cal Seager deserves a lot more credit. It just seems like because he spent his years in Seattle, no one really got to appreciate how good he was when he was as good as he was, because he has been declining since 2016. But Yusei Kikuchi stinks. There's nothing else you can say about that. Something that I wanted to point out to you guys, I won't make a full-length video about it, but definitely check out Gene Segura got into a fight with Joe Girardi yesterday. Now, in fantasy terms, Gene Segura, at least for me, had a good day yesterday because he hit the ball. But he did commit 2 errors. And I guess after committing 2 errors in yesterday's loss, him and Joe Girardi got into a little bit of a spat in the dugout. So you guys should definitely check that out. And just to preview a couple things, I still definitely plan on talking about Colt Brennan at one point. I also plan on doing a video on a outfielder who just came back to Major League Baseball after a long stint away, but he's back. And so it's a name you'll definitely recognize, but you probably haven't heard in quite some time, unless you've been really watching baseball not even just in the last few weeks, but like within the last week or so. Yeah. And obviously, still the one sticky note left, A Tale of Two Smiths. But, we'll see about that. Love you guys. Have a great rest of your day. Thank you for coming back for the bonus clip. Make sure to like, share, and subscribe. I apologize about the technical issues that were occurring during the Mitch Haniger video, but basically, I got out all my points I wanted to on the Mitch Haniger deal, but it looked like I was starting to get roughed up a bit trying to talk about Yusei Kikuchi. So I wanted to come back and make this video for you guys so that it could be clear what I was trying to say about him, because it's terrible. It's terrible what's going on with Yusei Kikuchi. But yeah, you guys have a great rest of your day. Love you. Bye.